As you are likely already aware, an intense and protracted conflict has been raging in the Amhara region of Ethiopia between Amhara Fano forces and the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF. I previously disseminated critical updates on this matter through a prior video, wherein I detailed how Fano forces had managed to gain a measure of control over Gonder city, albeit with some remaining pockets of resistance scattered throughout the city. The comprehensive account of this development was covered in extensive detail within that earlier video. However, since then, we have received a series of reports from multiple credible sources that paint a vivid picture of a fierce and ongoing battle in a different theater of this complex conflict. Specifically, the Amhara Fano forces are engaged in a determined effort to thwart the advance of ENDF soldiers as they seek to pass through the town of Zej on their way from Bahir Dar to Gonder. It's important to note that Bahir Dar has a substantial ENDF presence, and these reports indicate that, in response to the eruption of this new and intensified conflict, additional ENDF troops have been swiftly deployed from Bahir Dar to reinforce their positions and support their comrades. The situation on the ground has escalated dramatically, with reports suggesting that Fano forces launched a surprise attack on the ENDF soldiers near Zej, which is situated in close proximity to Gonder city. As of this moment, a full-blown ferocious battle is unfolding in this critical location. According to accounts provided by sources affiliated with Fano, their fighters are valiantly striving to block ENDF soldiers from entering Gonder, thereby effectively isolating and neutralizing the ENDF's attempts to reinforce their positions in the city. Simultaneously, it's worth noting that ENDF soldiers have reportedly taken up positions in various parts of Gonder, resulting in heavy combat engulfing densely populated areas within the city. Our sources have also managed to provide us with a wealth of video footage depicting various aspects of this tumultuous situation. These videos capture the presence of dozens of ENDF soldiers who appear to be under the control of Fano fighters. Moreover, there are visuals showing Fano forces within Gonder city, either patrolling its streets or interacting with the local population. It is essential to emphasize that the content of these videos is sensitive and graphic, and due to YouTube policies, we are regrettably unable to share them with you in this forum. Gonder, as you may be aware, is a major urban center with a significant population. Given the circumstances we are currently facing, reports indicate that heavy fighting has erupted throughout the city's urban landscape. There is a palpable sense of apprehension and concern regarding the potential loss of civilian lives and the extensive damage to properties and infrastructure. When warfare penetrates urban areas of this magnitude, the specter of destruction and civilian casualties looms ominously, casting a long shadow over the prospects for a peaceful resolution to this dire and protracted conflict. In addition to the ongoing conflict in Gonder and the surrounding regions, we have received the latest updates indicating that a separate and equally concerning situation has been unfolding in the Minjer area. Reports suggest that heavy fighting between the Ethiopian army and the Amhara people erupted in this region as of yesterday. The intensity of this conflict has been described as extremely high, with multiple sources highlighting the significant presence of Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, alongside Oromo soldiers in substantial numbers. What sets this particular conflict apart is the reported use of heavy weaponry by ENDF soldiers. This development raises additional concerns about the scale and severity of the fighting, as heavy weaponry often leads to greater destruction and poses an elevated risk to civilian lives and infrastructure. The utilization of such advanced weaponry underscores the gravity of the situation and the potential for a prolonged and devastating conflict in the Minjer area. The presence of both ENDF and Oromo soldiers in this conflict zone adds a layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. It is essential to consider the broader regional dynamics and the implications of this conflict on the ongoing crisis in Ethiopia, as it further underscores the deeply entrenched and multifaceted nature of the conflict that has gripped the country. As we continue to monitor these developments closely, our hearts go out to the people in the Minjer area and all those affected by this latest escalation of violence. The situation remains fluid and dynamic, with many uncertainties and risks on the horizon. There is a concerning development that has come to my attention, and it revolves around the mayor of the city. This mayor has been a central figure in the events that unfolded in Debre Marcos, particularly in facilitating the actions of Abiy Ahmed's army, which resulted in a tragic massacre of the local population and a collaboration with Fano forces. What we are learning now is that the mayor has recently been seen in the company of unknown forces. The implications of this association raise a host of questions and concerns. Firstly, the mayor's previous involvement in the events in Debre Marcos, where violence and loss of life occurred on a significant scale, has already generated substantial controversy and condemnation. The fact that they are now in the company of unknown forces creates an air of mystery and uncertainty surrounding their intentions and actions. Who are these unknown forces and what is their agenda? Are they aligned with the mayor's previous actions, or do they represent a new and potentially more volatile element in the ongoing crisis? These questions remain unanswered, and it underscores the complexity and fluidity of the situation on the ground. Moreover, the presence of the mayor alongside these unknown forces raises questions about the city's governance and the safety and well-being of its residents. Will this association lead to further instability and potential harm to the people of the city? Is there a risk of renewed violence or reprisals against those who have already suffered so much in the wake of past events? As we strive to piece together the puzzle of this unfolding situation, it is crucial to maintain a vigilant and compassionate perspective. The people of Debre Marcos and the surrounding areas have endured immense hardship and tragedy, and their safety and security must remain paramount. The mayor's actions and their association with unknown forces demand close scrutiny, and we will continue to monitor this situation closely, seeking to provide updates and insights as more information becomes available. Thank you for tuning in today, and we hope you found this content engaging and informative. Before we wrap up, we'd like to encourage you to consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. Subscribing not only allows you to stay updated with our latest content, but it also helps support us in bringing you more of the content you love.